Joining me now is Todd Williams. He's Managing Director of Unico Silver. Great to see you. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So you're in Argentina. You just came back from there. You were telling us before we went on camera here. So can you give us an overview of this flagship project you have? It's high-grade Cerro Leon in Argentina.
Yep. Yeah, look, so the company's a relatively new company. We've been born from a 2-year period of consolidation. We've closed 5 transactions, brought together a really interesting land package which was previously owned by 2 majors, Pan American Silver and Yamana, and 3 juniors. And importantly, what we've done is we've brought together 160 million ounces of silver equivalent resources, which is over 100 million ounces of primary silver. And now we're breathing new life into the asset. So we've just raised $30 million. We've got 25 in the bank, and we've just launched a fully funded 50,000 metre drill program, of which we are about 5% complete. And so we've got assays that'll be coming out for the next 9 months.
Great. All right, so take us through that timeline, what you are doing with this drilling, and as you head towards an update, or not an updated, but an MRE in Q3, correct?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. So look, for us, it's really quite simple. We've basically got 3 key objectives. The first objective is to be really clear on what we have in terms of near surface high-grade mineralisation. We've put out some excellent drill holes from oxide zones within the top 75 vertical metres, hits like 10 metres at 650 grams silver, etc. So really getting to know what we've got, what could actually convert into reserves, into a sort of future mine plan. So we're really conscious of that. And then 60% of our drilling is going into sort of more aspirational growth. So we've got an exploration target for the project, which essentially contemplates doubling the current resources. And a lot of that is based on historical drilling into vein structures which fall outside of the current MREs. So, so 60% of our drill meters will be going into drilling out those veins to an inferred status, just so that we're really clear on, what the project could be come Q3 this year when we put out that MRE. And then really the other 20% is just, the great high risk, high reward regional targets, which obviously deliver those step change discoveries. And we've seen what's happened in Santa Cruz, guys like Andean Resources, when they discovered the Eureka West vein, that was taken out for $3.4 billion by Goldcorp. So, we're always just one drill hole away from just completely blowing it open and changing the profile of the business. But fortunately, we can do that with a very strong balance sheet and with a very strong base of existing resources and a lot of opportunity to grow those existing resourthat.
Great. Now, Cerro Leon is surrounded by majors, and there's been some M&A, and you said that there's going to be more coming. So how would you describe the environment now that Milei has been there as president for more than a year?
Yeah, look, so obviously when Milei got in, there was a huge amount of cautious optimism, and it was really, everyone needed to see how his fiscal reform would translate into mining investment. And we've already seen that. We've seen BHP and Lundin team up to acquire Filo. We've seen Rio Tinto come in a big way with the Arcadium transaction. And so, what we're about to see is a sort of fire hydrant of money coming into Argentina. When you actually look at the sort of cumulative capital expenditures already earmarked for all the big copper porphyry projects in the northern part of the country. So, look, we are very fortunate. We get to ride on the coattails of that. We're a small company. We're down south in Santa Cruz. So ultimately, we just think that the future is really bright for Argentina. And what we would like to see and what we think may happen is we're going to see a rotation of investment in, let's call it Central to North America with respect to silver miners. There's a lot of big silver miners that play in that space. And we're sort of foreshadowing and foreseeing a sort of rotation of money, hopefully coming down south closer to where we are.
Right. Now, you mentioned 25 million, Todd, in the kitty, so to speak. The shares of Unico are being added to silver ETFs, so that's a good thing, more awareness. So can you just sort of wrap it up for us here in terms of the overall investment pitch for investors?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I was very busy Q4 last year, October, November last year, participated in sort of 3-4 silver conferences. And I think the common feedback, from buy-side investors was, look, firstly, there's not many silver companies globally. And then within that, there's actually not too many silver companies that have 160 million ounces of resources, have 25 million in the bank, have a very aspirational growth plan, have launched a fully funded 50,000 metre drill program, and importantly, in an area that is very amenable to building, permitting new mines, which is Santa Cruz, Argentina. And on top of that, we've got 40 million US in infrastructure, 200-man camp. We own the surface rights for all of the ounces that we're exploring. So when you go through that checklist, it's sort of, there's not too many companies globally with that profile. So I think that's really the opportunity for us.
All right, nice summary. Thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, good stuff. Todd Williams, he is Managing Director at Unico Silver.